Hello, everybody. It's the last day of picking here. My God, it's been a wonderful season. We just brought in our late harvest Riesling, and it's the last grapes that we're going to be bringing in this year. And I could tell you the quality of the Texas harvest in 2020, fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Not the biggest crop I've ever seen, but that's okay too. We had a big, huge crop last year. I mean, it was huge. Well, this year it kind of came back to more normal levels. So we're excited. The quality is great, and that's what's important. And I get to talk about a subject that I am so excited about. It's called Tempranillo, and Tempranillo is putting Texas on the map. And I would like to dedicate this video to the first family of Tempranillo in Texas, and that's the Newsom family, because they planted Tempranillo when no one even knew what it was in the 1990s, and they have really charged forward with producing fabulous Tempranillo grapes in Plains, Texas. And Neil, I want to give you a shout out. Well done, man, and the whole family. I mean, it's just amazing how you put the Tempranillo on the map. So today we're going to talk a lot about Tempranillo. We're going to be talking about where does it grow best? Where? Well, we're comparing Rioja and West Texas. Well, we went on a trip to Rioja 2 years ago, and I can tell you when you're driving up to Rioja and you look at the geography, it looks like you're heading into the high plains of Texas. You gradually go up an elevation, and you see the same type of trees and shrubs and dirt and everything else. I mean, I really felt like I was heading into Brownfield, Texas. So anyway, it looks a lot like West Texas, Rioja. So let's talk about the specifics. Rioja gets about 13 to 18 inches of rainfall. The high plains of Texas gets about 15 to 18 inches of rain. I hope I said inches, not feet. My God, that would be Noah's Ark if that was the case. So in any case, it's between 15 and 18 inches of rain in the high plains, and it's similar to Rioja. The high temperatures in the summer and the low temperatures in the winter, very similar. Then when you look at the dirt, the terroir, the best region of growing grapes in Rioja is the Alta region, which is the highest region, about 1,500 feet of elevation. The high plains of Texas, especially where Neil's place is, 3,700 feet of elevation. So it likes altitude. It likes continental climate. It likes the fact that it usually doesn't rain during harvest, which is the case especially this year. We had virtually no rain during the harvest of 2020. And then when you look at the soil, now we really get to the soil. Well, it's called calcareous clay. It is a clay with a chalk under it, which is exactly what it's like west of Brownfield, Texas, which is in Terry County, and it's exactly like that in the Alta region of Rioja. So we've got a lot of very similar situations. And now they use a lot of head training, so a lot of their plants are old and they're gnarly and they look like little bushes, and we're growing them on wire, and usually it's called vertical shoot positioning wire, where the canes grow straight up. We get about the same amount of sunlight. They get 81 days of sunlight. We get 85 days of sunlight. So we're a little bit better there because it loves sun, because the sun goes into those thick-skinned Tempranillo grapes, and that's what transforms the color into the skin, and that's what makes the wine dark. So now we'll talk about the styles of Tempranillo and how it's evolved through the ages. In the 1800s, Tempranillo was a bulk wine. It was intended for 6 tons to the acre and minimal oak influence, and it was their table wine. I mean, they consumed a lot of it. I mean, the Spaniards are the third in the world in world production. And 42% of all the wine that's made in Spain is Tempranillo. And one more little feature, 87% of all the Tempranillo in the world comes from Spain. So, move over Spain. Texas is coming down the pike because we're putting in some fabulous Tempranillo vines and making fabulous Tempranillo wine. So, let's talk about the first Rioja. This is Federico Paternina, and this is from Rioja. And I can tell you that this wine is more of the modern style. The more modern style is about 4 to 7 days of skin contact with the juice, and so you get kind of a medium dark color. Then the wine is pressed and it ferments pretty quick in Spain, and then it goes into oak. Now, usually their oak barrels are neutral barrels, unless you really get into the super premium, and that's when you start seeing newer barrels. And the other thing that they tend to do is they tend to keep it in the barrel a long time. Now, that's gotten less time over the years. I remember when I was a puppy in the 60s, it was easy to find a Spanish wine just released that was 10, 12 years old. And it had been in a barrel for so many years, and the barrel was neutral. It just sat there. And now they're realizing that leaving it in the barrel for that length of time is just not necessary. It's very expensive, and you need a lot of barrel storage in order to be able to do that. So take a look, then you smell, and it has a pleasant light plum aroma. It's not intense, because when you are on skin for less time, you get less aroma. So let's taste. Very quaffable. A lovely wine. Pizza, pasta. Nice, very, very nice. And maybe a nice little chicken with maybe some salsa on the chicken. I love that. I mean, I have that often. It really makes it nice. It's a spicy chicken. So here we are. That's a very nice wine. Moderately priced in the teens. Now we get into the kind of the modern winemaking. This is called Gringo. It's from La Mancha. It's not from Rioja. And this pays tribute to all the Western movies from Hollywood, American Westerns that were filmed in Spain. Why would they do that? Think about that. Why? Because it looks like West Texas. That's the reason why they filmed the movies there. So you smell. Again, nice aroma, very light. And now we taste. Four months in off, there may be 1 or 2 year old barrels. And see, for the longest time, the Spanish Tempranillos were American oak. They were less expensive than the French oak, so the Spaniards used American oak. Now they're beginning to integrate some French oak back into their barrel programs. A very, very nice wine, very quaffable, and it's got a very interesting looking label. And another thing that is very non-traditional for Spain, screw cap. Amazing. That's real recent, because you would never see that in a traditional Rioja. So now we go to Messina Hof, and we have our Tempranillo, and this is the 2017 Private Reserve, and I can tell you that this is darker and it's more intense in aroma. longer on skins. We're between 11 and 13 days on skin, back in, especially in 2017. And when you smell, you pick up more aroma off the skin. I mean, that's the fact. The longer it's on the skin, you tend to get more aroma off the skins. Then you taste. Mm. More tannin, more richness in the mouth, a more intense wine, about the same price as the first two that we talked about. Very, very nice wine. It's won all sorts of awards all over the place in its division. Now we go to the super premium, and this is Paolo Tempranillo. Now this is truly special. This wine is the darkest of the four. This wine is blended with Merlot. It's 20% Merlot, 80% Tempranillo. This was in brand new French hybrid barrels, which means that the part of the barrel is French oak and part of the barrel is American oak. So it's an integration. Now, it's the same way with this, the private reserve, but the private reserve is using barrels that are maybe 1 year old. So it's a little bit different. So let's smell. Oh, Lord. I mean, you can really pick up new oak. One of the characteristics of Tempranillo that I will honestly say is that Tempranillo picks up oak aromas faster than any red wine I've seen or worked with. It has an amazing ability to absorb the vanilla from especially a new oak barrel. So now we taste. Mm. I'm in heaven. I mean, it's amazing. This is truly amazing. So, we've explored Tempranillo, Texas, the next best thing. I'm telling you, Tempranillos coming out of Texas are going to be world phenomena. So, on behalf of everyone at Messina Hop, we wish you all the best and God bless you.